Hey everyone, so I'm here again. I just wanted to do another quick video. As much as in the last video went over the positives on this car, there are always, if you do the research, negatives. So as much as I'm extremely happy and ecstatic about this purchase, there are always little things that you come across that I've read and done research on that are definitely slightly problematic with the Subaru. There are some things that definitely need to be improved on, and things that people need to look out for if you're looking into this car, whether it be this hatch or sedan. The powertrain alone is identical, so there are things I wanted to bring up and talk about that can benefit you in your future purchase of this car. So I'm going to probably do this type of video every 30,000 miles or so. I bought this car at 35,000 miles, so it just passed that 30,000 maintenance schedule point that work should be done and checked on the car. So from what I've done from buying it now, I want to make sure it's at a good standard here, so that for me, I feel peace of mind and secure that everything is working well. So I'm going to go over a few things here. So let's go inside the car for a moment. Okay, so when I bought this car, I had already done the research, and I knew that this transmission, as good as a daily driving type of transmission it is not something to be beaten on. So again, I'm buying into someone else's purchase because I got in at 35,000 miles. I was not expecting it to be as finicky as it is, but it kind of is. You want to make sure when you are test driving this car, this model, Subaru WRX, you want to make sure the 5-speed, you have really test driven it thoroughly. Go through all the gears and just make sure everything is smooth. It, of course, isn't the most smooth transmission at all. I think my Honda that I had almost 15 years ago, my Prelude, had a better transmission than this. Just Honda makes the most smooth, buttery transmissions ever. But my Infiniti comes probably, and then this one comes probably last. It's definitely not the best designed. Again, you need to, if you want a shorter shifter, I had to go put this in myself. But to make a long story short, what I ended up, when I got the car, I test drove it for about 15 minutes or so, and what ended up happening is it wasn't long enough. The oil, as I found out after I bought the car, the oil warms up in the transmission, and it was grinding between third and fourth gear. It was going in the gear, it would get in, but it would give me a nice every time. And it would not fight with me, but it would sound like I'm scraping the gears, and it's causing metal shavings to fall into my transmission. I was like, crap, what did I do? So the great thing about this is I bought the car under warranty. It was still under a Subaru warranty. The Subaru powertrain warranty goes up to 60,000 miles. So I was like, I'm taking this thing straight to Subaru. I took it there, and they ended up doing some maintenance on this thing. As you see, this long list of stuff. There you go. Look at this. So they did the insert shifting, synchronizer set, sleeve hub, ring bulk, race needles, gear set, nut, oil seal. You know, they did the shift fork, which I read about needed to be switched, and the synchros. As you can see, they did a synchronizer set probably between third and fourth gear. So that's exactly where the issue was lying. They did it. Didn't cost me a dime. So my dealership experience wasn't tainted and terrible. Thank God for Subaru really helping me out. I had to take this off. I had the stock shifter in my trunk, so I didn't go there with this because they would have freaked out. Thank God the guy before me left that in the box. But this was one of the main concerns when I was looking at buying this car, and thank God I got one under warranty. It was fixed free of charge. It feels really good now, besides the pattern being fit. Oh, just not the greatest design. I mean, like I said in my other video, first, second, third, fourth, fifth is just so far away, and reverse is almost so difficult to get into sometimes, you know. If they say that about reverse, because it doesn't have a sync roll on it either, so it just is a straight shot gear, and it can be problematic as well. So really, really run through the gears. I'd say drive this car if you're test driving them for really long. I mean, and do some hard pulls, because you can be caught blindsided on how this transmission really runs. Make sure you really, really run through this car thoroughly. I did some pulls, I did all that stuff. The dealership, of course, said I needed a clutch, but I drove it. The clutch felt fine. It may need a clutch in maybe 30,000 miles, 6,000 miles, but not right now. The guy before me may have beaten on it real bad, or not knew how to drive stick very well, but at least I'm back to a normal standard. So I just wanted to warn you guys and make you guys aware. Really, really test this transmission out. Okay. So another issue that I really learned a lot through research is the transmission in this car. This WRX has a 5-speed manual transmission. The STI has a 6-speed. Again, this transmission is not meant to be beaten on. I think the owner before me must have done multiple digs, multiple just hard shifting, just with missing gears sometimes, and that's what damaged the transmission over the 30,000 miles. Probably got annoyed of it, and that's why he sold it. He really could have got it fixed for free at Subaru, but probably was just annoyed. So luckily I got all that done for free. And I still have another about 20,000 miles on that warranty also. So I'm pretty good. I'm sorted out here, except for the normal wear and tear items. But the transmission is good for daily driving, but if you're planning on tracking and beating on this thing, I say just hold off for a STI. For me, daily driving, this is more than enough now that it's fixed. When I first got the car, I knew that I was going to change some of the fluids, make sure everything is good. They have all kinds of concoctions of different transmission fluids that people have come up with to help the gears, actually the synchros, work a little better. I, being under warranty, decided to just keep with the normal Subaru fluid, because I didn't want to go and give any reason for Subaru to deny the warranty. So I went and purchased one of these special torque bit, real big, biggest I've ever seen for the transmission, the bolt. It's the only way you can get the fluid out. I drained it. I put new Subaru in. Subaru transmission in the fluid. And the great thing about this engine, which I was blown away by, that most cars would never even have, is there is a transmission dipstick. You know, STIs actually don't even have this, but there's a nice dipstick right here to actually check your fluid level between a low and a high notch. So it was really good, and you can fill it up from there. So it makes changing your fluid really, really simple. But once you get the torque bit, you take the bolt off, drain it out just like you would oil, fill it back up. I did that. It didn't fix the grinding or the shifting issue, so at that point I realized I had to take it to Subaru to check it out, which is fine, you know. Once it was under warranty, I was okay with doing that. You know, I was a little nervous at how they would if they try to sell me on anything or make me pay, which they did. They said I had to do a clutch, and it makes sense because the transmission's already been dropped off the car. You know, it makes sense to do your clutch while it's been dropped off. But once they said the price of $800, $900, I was like, you fools must be kidding. I'm not paying $900 for a damn clutch from you guys to do it. I have people that can do it myself, my friends out there that we can do it together. So yeah, dealership's always got to be a dealership. But they fixed the transmission. It wasn't the gearing, but over time, when my warranty runs out, I will go under there and actually change to one of the Uncle Sam or one of those concoctions. They have a Redline or Modal 300 gear fluid, and I'll get that done the right way so my gears and transmission will last a little longer. I actually changed the rear diff fluid as well. If you look under here, you can see it's right there. So it's almost the same thing. You just unscrew the bottom bolt, let it drain out, fill it up until it starts leaking out. Did that. Put some normal Subaru gear oil in there. I think it's 75W90. So that was good. But yeah, you really want to be concerned with the transmission. So just really test it out when you guys, I can't be any more serious about that. Just really, really drive it and feel it out. Make sure all the gears feel good and drive it for a long period of time, because the Subaru oil has been known not to be able to withstand much heat. So when it warms up, it'll act up. make sure you really drive that transmission well and through all the gears and really feel it out. Also, when it really comes down to the transmission, the WRX isn't meant to handle much power. They say over 300 wheel horsepower or 300 horsepower alone is starting to get excessive for the transmission. So if you're planning on doing a lot of modifications and increasing the power of this engine above the 300 wheel horsepower, you know, above that above that level, yeah, be careful, because this transmission is they call it the glass tranny. It's not that great. Upgrade to the STI 6-speed. It is just meant to handle more power. I wish that they just simplified it and made the 6-speed a standard, but you know, the STI is another level of car right there. So you know, you pay for what you get, and this car, the STI is almost $8,000 more than a normal WRX. So you get what you pay for. It's a much better transmission. It's got more electronics inside that can handle different road types and different weather conditions. So, but for a daily driving car and for the style that you get, because you're getting the STI styling here, it might be worth a little extra money. You just gotta be smart with your driving style and your driving habits. Here in the interior again, I said this in my last video, because that is a real big concern for me when it comes to this car, is how Subaru has really over the years yet to upgrade their interiors much. Everything is very hard plastic. It's very hard to the touch, not touchable items in here that feel soft to your fingers. So because of that, the panels will tend to shake more when you play loud music, or if you're interested in raising your bass up on the system here. The speakers aren't that great, but if you do plan on doing that, these panels can't handle the bass power sometimes, the frequency. So they will shake because there are more hard panels. So I've reinforced mine with some padding here that I just picked up from my job. It's just packaging material, but it does help with that. But yeah, it is not the greatest luxury interior getting here. I mean, even if you went up to the WRX Limited and Premium, I'm sure these things don't even change. You get leather seats and heated seats, but this is all going to be the same, and it's very hard plastic everywhere. So it's not, you're not really paying for an interior in this car. I think you're just paying for the amazing all-wheel drive system that this car comes with. So reading through a lot of forums, another issue that people talked about is these engines, the flat 4 is known to also have some issues with boost leaks sometime. That's a tough thing to diagnose. I have the Cobb access port, and I'm watching my PSI as it's going up, and it's not, you know, my boost pressure, and it's not showing any signs of boost leak. But how would a normal person really kind of diagnose that? It's kind of tough. So that's a little bit tough to diagnose, but I don't find that as a major issue here. I think your engine should be okay, but it's something to be aware of when purchasing this. You know, make sure you're not feeling any stalling or lagging within switching gears and giving it gas. Make sure it feels smooth. Of course, you do have some delay, you know, because of course if the turbo's not within boost, yeah, you're gonna get some boost delay. So it won't show that, it won't give you that oomph until you probably hit around 3,500, 4,000 RPMs. You know, that boost lag will be there. And that's one thing that this cleared up, the Cobb intake and the Cobb access port tune, because the stock tune on these cars are also not that great. So upgrading to a stage 1 will actually flatten out the actual power curve and make it a lot more smooth. So it's a great thing to maybe upgrade to stage 1. People have said the stock tune runs real lean and it's not good for the internals. Once I heard that, I decided to go with the Cobb and get the stage 1, and as of right now, it's really looking great. I love the way it feels. It really is smooth. So an investment that you may want to make down the line when you go and own one of these. And I wanted to really emphasize, please follow the maintenance schedule on these cars, because you make sure you change your oil. I change my oil every 3,000 miles, and I'm gonna do it every 3,000 miles, even on this car. I've heard turbo cars tend to, may be burning oil or anything. I'm just gonna really just really change the oil consistently every 3,000 miles. I'm not going to go longer than that. I just want these internals to last. I always let the car warm up. You know, let the car warm up before you drive it real hard or anything like that. Don't push on it while it's cold. That's not a smart thing to do. You know, you want to make sure you really follow the manual for the things that need to be checked on it. Certain things that, you know, really have to be watched when you're owning a turbocharged engine. So follow those things specifically, and your car should last a long time. Lastly, the things that you really need to also take care of when owning one of these is make sure you're using the right fuel. Premium, I wouldn't go with a lower grade fuel, you know, 87 or 89. 91 up to 93 is probably the best bet for you guys. Premium fuel. Also, I was trying to avoid this in my G35, but apparently it's still an issue here. Rock chips and things like that. I didn't get a clear bra for this. I didn't really want to put one on. I read some comments that they're not the greatest sometimes. So I'm just going to really do touch up consistently and really watch over the paint on the front bumper. But I do a lot of highway miles, so over time it can chip. So I'm going to be doing a lot of touch up. I ordered some factory paint from a website online, and it'll come so I can do that touch up on there periodically. But yeah, apparently the paint's not that great. I mean, I don't have any signs of rust yet, and that's what I really want to avoid is rust. But paint chips are not as bad. It's something that you can really monitor, and I would stay on top of that if you are trying to get one of these cars. Really monitor the paint itself. So okay guys, that's my video for today. I just wanted to do an update for you guys that are planning on buying into these things. This model came out in about 2011, but it's got the same motor even from 2008. So, you know, you really can use this as an example from pretty far back in 08. I wanted to make sure you guys knew that there are issues to look out for. I'm very happy with this purchase, but again, there are always issues and research that can be done that you need to be aware of. And I wanted to let you guys know what to look out for, and what to be ready for when you're trying to buy one of these. I'm probably going to do one of these updates every 30,000 miles or so, because that's usually the maintenance schedule alone in the manual. So I'm going to probably do another one at like 60,000 miles. I'm at about 36. I've only put about 1,000 miles on it so far. So at the rate of the person behind me that owned this thing, I wanted to do an update just on how the car is up to now, and now I'll start based on me up to 60,000 miles. So I'm just gonna move on forward and watch everything real closely. I like to wrench on cars, so it's a Japanese car, should be real easy to work on, and I'm excited for this ownership. So keep in tuned and keep watching, and I'll be posting more videos shortly. And you know, if you guys have anything you want to post in the comments, or you've noticed issues that you want me to be aware of, let me know. I put this video up on my G35 and a common issues video, and it blew up. So it became almost like a forum on YouTube for people that were talking about their issues and had questions, and we all were answering each other's questions and things like that. So it really worked out a lot. So if you see anything you want to tell anyone else, or if you own the car longer or have driven it longer miles, let us know how your car's lasting. I look forward to reading all the comments. Well, thanks guys. I'll see you later.